Welcome back to the Business Mechanic Show. This is your host, Vaughn Sigmund, co-founder of Results-Driven Leadership, where we turbocharge your management team. Today, we're going to talk about how do you run your organization where problems vanish before they even appear. Productivity is going to soar through the roof, and your people are genuinely going to be excited to come to work. Does that sound good? Then you need to listen up, because this isn't some touchy-feely management seminar kind of BS. This is about building a powerhouse, one fully engaged and high-performing team member at a time. However, along with the common theme I've been talking about here recently, it all begins with you, because the buck stops where? With you. And let's get something straight right off the bat. Your team's performance, their successes, their failures, that's all on you. Don't even think about pointing fingers. You take all the blame, they get all the credit. And if things aren't humming like a finely tuned Ferrari, you need to look in the mirror. You are the architect of this operation, and you need to own it. This isn't about blame. It's about recognizing you have the power, the responsibility to transform your team's performance and unleash the goddamn potential that's locked inside. And why is that so crucial? Because in today's relentless environment, mediocrity reigns supreme. And who wants to go to work and be average? Because mediocrity is a death sentence. You can't afford, in today's competitive world, to have anyone dragging you down. Not any team member, much less more than one member of a team. And anyone at leadership level operating at anything less than peak performance, you're going to suffer, and your team's going to suffer. You need every single member of your team operating like a Navy SEAL, hungry for success, driven to achieve the impossible, and absolutely loyal to the mission. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? Let's talk about the why files. Let's decode underperformance. And before you go all Gordon Gekko and start firing people, let's take a breath and figure out why someone is underperforming. And there are likely millions of reasons. And as a leader, it's your job to figure out what those reasons are. It's your job to be the damn detective and figure it out, because it's all a reflection of you, their results or your results. Let's first start with the fog of war, which is often also known as a lack of clarity. This is the big one. This is the silent killer of productivity. Do your team members actually truly understand what's expected of them? They need to know how to come to work and have a good day, and at the end of the day, know whether they had a good day. So I'm not talking about some generic job description written in legal jargon. I'm talking about clear, concise, laser-focused goals that align with the big picture. Do they understand how their individual work contributes to the overall mission? Very often they don't. Are they aligned to the mission, your mission, the company's mission? Your organization is all moving towards a goal. What's their contribution? Is it perfectly clear to them? Are you measuring it? Do they know what that measure is every single day? Because if you've got them operating in the dark, they're just going to be spinning their wheels. Some days are going to be good. Some days aren't going to be. Mediocrity. Now let's talk about some of the tools of the trade, which is having insufficient resources. You can't expect Picasso to paint a masterpiece with a crayon, can you? You need to provide the right tools. They have to have the right tools and materials to do their job right. So they need to know what's expected of them, and they need to have the right tools to do it right. And one of those tools is training. Is everyone properly trained? You may have shown them once, but have you taken it to the next level, next level, the next level? Are you constantly training, retraining, re-rehearsing, challenging your team members? Do they have access to the right technology, the technology they need, the information they must have? Are they getting the support they need to get the job done? Very often, that's a big part of it. Do they have a mentor? Do they have a buddy? Do they have easy access to you if they need an answer? Or do they have a place to go get an answer? If they're fighting an uphill battle with one hand tied behind their back, of course, they're going to struggle. Now, you're busy. I get that. You got stuff to do. You can't be out there, quote unquote, babysitting them all the time. So you need to make them independent. That comes with training. That comes with repetition. That comes with getting them bought in so they clearly understand what they must do in order to have a good day every day. Know what's expected of them and the tools and materials to do their job right every day. Are they lost in the machine? Do they have a lack of motivation? That's very common. I hear that a lot. I just left a client's office where I'm helping them recruit 13 new people to their organization because of the scaling and the growth and the success. But we've helped form that team. We've helped with the managers and the training and the leadership development of that team so that everybody that comes into the machine is on the positive side. They're blowing it up. Can you say that about your organization? Can you say that about your team? Are they blowing it up? Are they scaling like never before? It's very doable. The company I was just mentioning had been around 80 years. They've been in a plateau for 7. We come along, we start working with their team, giving their leadership team the tools and the resources and the training so that they know what to do. They didn't know what they didn't know. I say that a lot. And all of a sudden, it's all clicking and they're growing so fast that they're having to add 13 new team members, half of which is on the sales side. The other half is on the support of the sales side. They need estimators. They need draftspeople. This is all in a construction-related company because this is where you separate the good leaders from the great ones, and you can all be great ones. But it starts with the thing we started with this organization with: engagement. Are your people engaged? Do they feel valued? This company in 80 years had never had a recognition program. We started that. Their management team had never even thought about going around and checking in with people, patting them on the back, thanking them, having lunch with them, being involved. Does your team feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves? That's a big part of leadership. If they're just punching a clock, waiting for the weekend, constantly check their iPhones to see what time it is. Are we there yet? Is it time to go home? You got a serious problem. If you have an attendance problem, you got a motivation problem. If you got a work ethic problem, you got a motivation problem. If people are constantly making silly mistakes, you got a motivation problem. People under the right leadership, they end up feeling like they are making a difference, so they make a difference. And it's your job to light that fire, to make them believe in the mission that all stems from you. Do you believe in the mission? You see, when you get into a management level, you often lose out on somebody patting you and stoking you all the time. You have to be very self-motivated. And that's tough for many of you, but you're going to have to find that gear. And also have to keep in mind life happens. People have personal issues. We're all human. The same company I'm talking about, their very best salesperson, which we brought on board, is killing it. And all of a sudden has gone through this series of family issues, sicknesses, deaths, et cetera, et cetera. Life throws curveballs. Many people, everybody has personal problems, financial stress, family issues, health concerns, and that can crush their performance. You can't be the therapist, but you can create a supportive environment where they feel cared for, where they feel comfortable reaching out for help, being empathetic. That's all part of the EQ podcast I did a couple weeks ago. Because a little compassion and caring goes a very long way to motivation. Have you got square pegs and round holes? Do you have people sitting in the wrong seat? They're mismatched. Sometimes it's just a bad fit. Someone might be hardworking and just can't get the job done because they're not suited for the role. And in this case, don't be afraid to make tough decisions. Either A, reassign them to something that's better utilizing their skills, or you're going to have to let them go because technically they're dead weight. They're holding you back and they're holding your team back. You got to deal with it. Either reassign them or replace them. And you also need to consider what is super, super common, and that's the fear factor, the fear of failure. It's a sneaky one. Some people are so afraid of making a mistake that they freeze up. They don't take risk. They play it safe. They don't do anything unless they're told specifically to do it, and their performance suffers. So you, as their leader, need to create a culture where failure isn't a career ender, that you don't blow mistakes up into proportions that's going to keep people in a shell in their cave, not coming up with new ideas and not trying things. When people make mistakes, it happens, you have to turn that into a learning opportunity. Encourage experimentation, reward people for taking calculated risk. And then there's the broken telephone of poor communication. Communication, y'all, is the oxygen of any organization. If it's stifled, everyone suffocates. And very often we take very efficient approaches to communication where you need to think about the effectiveness of your communication. Again, I talk about that a lot. Make sure when you do communicate that it's clear, it's open, it's honest, and it's with the right people. That is one of the biggest mistakes I see around is leaders often or managers often mistake the fact that they're talking with communication. That's not communication because it typically is a monologue, not a dialogue. I talk about that a lot. So you have to encourage and have a culture where feedback is welcome. It's embraced. But in order to get that feedback, you have to listen. You have to listen to what people are telling you. You can't ignore it. You can't think it's silly. You can't blow it off. You can't be looking at your phone, at your calendar, your email while they're trying to tell you something. You have to listen. It's the mark of the greatest leaders. And yes, you're busy. You have other things to do. I get it. I've been in your share, but you have to listen because I promise you, you're going to learn something. And I promise you, the more you listen, the better you're going to be as a leader because now you're finding out what you can do better, what you can fix, and then go fix it. Now, I want to offer this tool one more time. It's in the show notes. If you want to learn more about the reasons why you as a leader are creating underperformance, download my free tool, The 16 Reasons Employees Don't Do What They're Supposed to Do. It's a complete inventory of how you're contributing to mediocrity, if not failure. So let's turn to the playbook here. Let's start turning some of your underperformers into legends of high performance. Enough of the analysis, enough of what is causing it. Let's get to the tactics that will transform underperformance into your team being top dogs. Step one, this is your how-to handbook of becoming an awesome leader with an awesome team. And it takes major changes for many of us because you've never done it before. It seemed like it's time consuming. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but you'll actually be saving time if you invest this time the right way. And it starts with the power of a one-on-one coaching session. Forget about the group meetings. Forget about trying to communicate via Slack or email or any of the messaging platforms that are out there. The best way to address performance and expectations is through personal conversations, one-on-one, especially if it's a performance issue. You need to turn that into a coaching session. Schedule regular one-on-one sessions. It can be weekly, it can be monthly, no less than quarterly, that you sit down for 30 minutes to an hour with each member of your team. Create a safe space where people can be honest about their struggles, that you're asking, that you're listening, that you're not telling. You ask open-ended questions that you may have been avoiding in the past. How are we doing? What are we doing that's stupid? What do we need to do to make the team better? And then you need to park your ego, as I've talked about in previous podcasts. Park that ego and listen. This isn't a personal attack. This is how you're going to be awesome because they're going to tell you exactly what you need to do to be awesome. Ask open-ended questions, offer constructive feedback, not blame, not a lecture. Listen. Number two, clear expectations. You got to set the stage. And as I said before, clarity is everything. Work with each team member. Don't assume that everybody understood your expectations because they didn't. 100% guarantee they did not. When you set out the expectations and you communicated this, especially if it was in a group, even if it was one-on-one, I guarantee they didn't understand everything you asked them to do. So you need to work with each team member to set crystal clear, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, smart goals around your expectations. Make sure they understand how those goals connect to the big picture and track progress regularly and provide ongoing feedback. How do I make sure they translated my instructions? Have them repeat them back to you. It seems so weird and awkward to some of you, but oh my God, you will find out how off they were in listening to you. And they were going to go out there and do it the way they heard it, not the way you meant it or needed it. What did we just agree to here is all you need to say. And then straighten them up because they're going to miss some every time. And it's not them, it's you. Let's talk about sharpening the blade, which is training and development. You need to take a hard look, identify the skill gaps that are holding your people back, which is creating your shortcomings in performance, and provide the training. That training may come from you. The coaching has to come from you. Find the training and get them the training they need. They can't meet your expectations if they don't know what's expected and how to deliver them. And maybe you need to have lunch and learns, workshops, online courses you can find, YouTube videos, books to read, mentoring programs, which is one of the best. Invest in your people. And you know what? They invest back in you. And they invest back in you with that engagement, that motivation, that willingness to go the extra mile because you're investing in them. In order to gain trust, you must give trust. In order to gain respect, you must give them respect. This is a great way to respect them. And then you also have to be comfortable with letting go of the reins, better known as delegation. Delegation isn't just about dumping tasks. It's about empowering people, giving them responsibility and letting them grow. Part of that growth is going to be mistakes, and you're going to have to be comfortable with those and not blow up and make a big deal out of them. Learning opportunity again. Start looking at tasks that align with that person's strengths. Start giving them the opportunity to do some of your job for you or somebody else's job for them. Grow them, empower them, give them the autonomy they need to succeed, and then get the hell out of their way. Let them do it. Just because they don't do it your way doesn't mean that's the wrong way. As long as the outcome, the measurable, is there, if not better, they're doing great. And then show them the love. Recognition, rewards. Don't underestimate the power of a pat on the back. When someone achieves a goal, they need to know that you saw it, that you know it, that you recognize them, that you tell them that you caught them doing it right. That helps them go the extra mile. And if someone does something exceptional, and remember, exceptional may not be your translation of it, your definition of it. It may be their definition of it. And you need to know your team well enough to understand what that definition is. But when they have done something above and beyond, acknowledge it, even if it's minor in your world. And public praise, bonuses, promotions, most importantly, just a simple thank you can make a huge difference. Some of the best leaders I know do two things in common. They stand by the door at the end of the day and thank everybody as they're walking out. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then on a regular basis, this is an old rule I learned a long time ago, never eat lunch alone. Have someone with you, preferably a direct report or someone you're working on developing, and have lunch with them regular. Or even better, go into the break room and have lunch with the team. Make yourself available. Get to know them. That alone is recognition. Because you can say something to somebody. Did you hear what Sally did? Oh my God, Sally, listen to this. Sally did this. Hey, everybody, did you hear what Sally did? Let's give Sally, it doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be at the company meeting. It could be you having lunch in the break room on a Thursday. Makes a huge difference. And then you have to have a culture of continuous improvement. Always be improving. Create the culture of growth. Create an environment where learning and growth are valued. It's a big part of what we do. And encourage your people to seek out new knowledge, experiment with new approaches, challenge the status quo, because very often there's elements of your status quo that are just dumb and you've just been doing it always the way you've been doing it. And there's likely better ways or different ways. Let them have that. And then here's the big one again, facing the music or being able to deal with conflict. Your fear of conflict. Conflict is inevitable. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't ignore it. You have to address it head on and facilitate open and honest communication. Don't point out one-offs. Establish patterns. And when you establish a pattern where somebody needs to have a conversation, have the damn conversation. It's not going to fix itself. It's only get fixed if you, my friend, deal with it. Maybe a perfectly reasonable explanation as to why they're doing it. If you go and have the conversation with them, they probably are just misinformed or misunderstand, and they'll fix it. Now, if people are being jerks to each other, you got to fix that immediately. There's no pattern allowed there. We treat each other with respect all day, every day, including you. But help your people find common ground and work towards solutions. Problem solve together. And underlying all this is just being human. Just because you're in a position of power within an organization, management, doesn't mean that you're not expected to be human. You have to show empathy. Remember that your team members are people. They have lives, they have struggles, they have dreams. So lead with empathy. Show compassion. Learn to overlook every now and then. Treat them with respect if you want to be treated with respect. So here's the final word on all this. If you want to unlock that leader beast that resides inside you, because leading a high-performing organization isn't about being a tyrant. It's not command and control. It's decentralized command. It's about creating an environment where people feel empowered, valued, and inspired to unleash their full potential. Take off the strings. Let them fly free and be awesome. But that's all up to you. It's about setting clear expectations, providing the tools they need, fostering a culture of continuous improvement. Gallup surveys show that most managers spend about 70% of their time dealing with underperformance or underperformers or the outcomes that are generated by underperformers. Remember when I said you're going to save time earlier? This is the time you save. The more your team becomes awesome because of what you're putting into your team, how you're changing yourself as a leader, the transformational triangle of change, the more time you have to do these things. So yes, there's probably a bubble. There's a period of time where you got to be dealing with BS and problems, but you're going to have to make the time to deliberately and intentionally do these things that I'm sharing with you and get it going today. Because in time, this 70% of your time that's being spent on BS and firefighting goes away. There's always going to be a little bit. None of us live in a utopian world, but it minimizes. The problems become smaller. The frequency of the problems become less. Now, I've got a little something that can help you put all this into practice so that you can finally get off your ass and implement it. A couple of years ago, I created a killer performance management course that dives deep into these strategies. It'll arm you with tools you need, the paperwork that's required, and most importantly, the mindset. The mindset you must have to deliver effective feedback and build your confidence so that you can have difficult conversations. You can structure conversations that are going to make them beneficial. The outcomes will improve. And always remember, your team cannot fix what they don't know about. And if you're not regularly giving them feedback on mostly what they're doing right, but if they're coming up short on anything, what they need to work on, and you're going to be there to help guide and support them. Always keep in mind that one person's underperformance affects the rest of your team, everybody. Often, one person and their poor performance is resulted in reduced performance standards for everyone. Ouch. That was unintentional. So, the final line on all this is leadership starts with ownership. And this course, this performance management that works course, will challenge you to step up and take ownership of your team's performance. So go out there and unlock the freaking beast within your people. The rewards will be astronomical, and you'll build a legacy that will last your entire career. And the best news is this course is marked down from $47 to $27 just for you, my listeners. There's a link in the show notes. So download the 16 reasons why employees don't do what they're supposed to do. Buy the course, invest in yourself. 27 bucks. Barely cost of a sandwich and a cup of coffee anymore. Only 27 bucks and get the entire performance management course. It's video. It's all the forms you need. It's complete package. Go get that now. Go be awesome and stay after it, y'all. Thanks for listening.